Hi everyone, it's Christina from Card Creations and More by C, and we're going to be having another card today. This one's going to be a little different. It's going to be a very simple card. I thought I'd kind of make like a boyish baby card, just very simple. Our card base is going to be a standard A2 size. I'm actually using white, which I don't very often do, but I'm going to this time. I went ahead and got my inside layer ready. It's actually just the same paper that we used in our last video. It's going to be this light green paper, so we're going to go ahead and adhere that down inside. And I hope that this angle works out okay. I really don't have the ability at this point in time to do my videos from behind me. So the best I can do, I did move the tripod up onto my desk instead of on the side of my desk, and hopefully it brings everything a little bit closer for you. So that was our inside, and then I'm going to do my outside mat, which is the same paper. So we'll go ahead and get that lined up on the outside of the card. And I just want to line that up well. Okay, there we go. So that'll be the start of our card. Okay, my matting for the front of the card is this nice pattern paper that we used with the squirrel card. So I'm going to go ahead and use up another chunk of that. And I thought that really looks like a baby boy type of paper too. So I'm going to, I put some ATG already on the center of this, and I'm going to go ahead and use this white paper. And I'm going to line it up. This is 3.75, so I want to line it up so that my paper is kind of centered and leaving some pattern showing through. And so I just kind of line it up on my cutting mat. It makes lining it up straight much easier. So we're going to go ahead and trim this. I cut it a little longer than what was needed. I like to do that on purpose. Oops. There we go. No, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. That's better. And then I'm going to put this green strip in the center of the white, okay, like that. So I'm just going to run one strip of ATG right down the middle. There we go. This is just a 1-inch wide strip. I run it straight across. Okay, so that's what we're ending up with so far for our layers. Go ahead and trim that off. Okay, there we go. Now, I thought instead of using the Cricut or any punches this time, our decoration, we're going to focus on these brads. And I pulled out square brads. They're blue and green, and we're going to alternate them. And we're going to kind of decorate the card with the brads. Okay, so what I want to do is figure out, let's see. Okay, instead of using my hole punch, I think I'm going to pierce this with my tweezers. Just get the hole started. Okay, I need to get a paper piercer. I could really use one. I don't even have one. But at least for right now, I'm not going to use my hole punch. I kind of like the thought of the paper piercer because the hole punch, it never fails. I get the punch just a little bit away from where I actually want it. Okay, now while I've got this lined up, I'm going to go ahead, because I'm actually going by the 5 lines right here, which is centered to make them spaced out. So before I move it, I'm going to actually go ahead and do the other side too. So I'm essentially creating a border of these brads. And that's what I wanted to do for this card. Just something different. Okay, now hopefully that's enough of a hole that I can punch these through. If not, then we're going to have to think about what we're going to do here. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so I am going to have to use my hole punch apparently. I wonder if I can get it in that far. Okay, I can. Now we're just going to have to line these up the best that we can and hope that it's pretty dead on, because that wasn't going to be thick enough. I guess I am going to have to get an actual paper piercer if I want to do it that way. Okay, so we got our 5 holes, and I'm going to do the other side real quick. And it should be close enough, I guess. Usually when I'm using these, it's like in the center of a flower, and I look and it's not even centered, even though I put my little dot where I wanted to punch. Okay, one more to go. Alright. Okay, so we have our holes, and I'm going to go ahead to start with and put my green ones in. And I do want these, I think, lined up like regular squares, not diagonal, I don't think. Although that looks kind of cool too. I could put the blue ones at an angle. Maybe I will. Actually, I kind of think that looks kind of neat. Okay, so I guess we'll do it that way. We'll do the green ones, we'll do square, and then the other ones we'll do diagonal, like little diamonds. Okay, these brads come apart really easy. Some brads tend to stick a lot, kind of hurt your fingers, but these aren't, which is kind of nice. Okay, now I planned it this time so that I'd have 3 green and 2 blue on the top and then alternated on the bottom, just for something different. So just kind of want to show you guys how you can make a simple card and use some of your little embellishments instead of always feeling like you have to have a Cricut image or, you know, fancy punches. These are simple ways if you don't have a lot of stuff and you're just getting started, or you don't have a lot of cartridges, that you can make these type of supplies work. And if you buy a package of brads when they're on 50% off at like Hobby Lobby, it's well worth it, honestly. That's usually how I get mine, is I wait till they're half off at Hobby Lobby. They'll put the entire stock of brads and like metal gadgets on sale, and that's like the perfect time to get them, because if the package is only $2, you're getting it for $1, and you really can't beat that. Okay, so we went ahead and we've got our pattern done now. The other thing I want to do is we're going to put this white ribbon here in the center. So I'm just going to run some ATG to anchor it down, and go ahead and stretch it down and get it nice and straight. Okay, and we're going to tape it behind. I'm actually going to do 2 pieces of Scotch tape. Okay. So like I said, this is a perfect card for somebody that doesn't have a lot of cartridges or a lot of fancy tools. You can make what you do have work for you. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this sheer white ribbon and we're going to make a bow. Now how I make my bow is how Janice from Cricketology.blogspot.com makes her bows. This is where I learned, is from her. And I never bothered with bows before then because I always had a really hard time. But she takes her ribbon and she puts it around her acrylic block, gives her something to anchor it to. And she goes ahead and ties it that way. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Okay, so I'm going to get a nice bow started. And I'm just going to use my block for something to work with here. And this works out really well for me because I'm not very good at tying bows. And it kind of gives you something more stable than trying to tie it around your actual card. Okay, so let's get this started and then we can fuss with it. Okay. And then you can keep adjusting it and tightening it until you're happy with it. Okay, now I don't need it super big, so I think that's pretty good. It's pretty big though. It's a little bit bigger than what I wanted, so I think I'm going to make it smaller. that'll be good. And then I'm just going to go ahead with my scissors and kind of cut these off to an angle. Okay, just kind of like that. Alright, I'm going to get rid of that part. And I got this lighter from the dollar store. I'm just going to go ahead and use that to burn off the edges, just so that it doesn't fray on me. Okay. Then what you do, once you've got your ribbon made, or your bow I mean, is you just pull it off the block like that, okay, and then you've got like this nice loop. Now if you want to put your ribbon, your bow dead center, you would just pull this out behind and snip it right in the middle, okay? But I already know that my bow needs to be off to the side because my sentiment's going on the other side. So what you want to do then is you want to cut it more towards the end, like that, okay? Then you have a piece to put behind, and then you have that part which stretches across the card. So you can do it either way, but this one's going to go like this. Okay. Now the reason I like making the bows much better with the sheer ribbon, they're a lot easier to tie, but I don't really like the look of the sheer ribbon by itself as far as the part that's stretched across the card, but I like the look of the bow like that. So what I like to do is put the same color of ribbon down on it so that you see much more of the ribbon color, but you still get the sheer bow. Okay, so that's why I did that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get a glue dot. Okay, I just used these little mini ones, and just going to grab one off and kind of fold it up in half, okay? And first thing I'm going to do is get this positioned, taped off behind the card, right about there. Okay, and since this is the same width, I can easily see what I'm doing. So I'm going to tape it down. This way I've got some grip on it. Okay, and then I'm going to take my little mini glue dot and we're going to stick it right here behind the bow. Alright, this way the bow stays fastened down. So I'm going to stretch this around. Okay, I'm going to press it in place. And then I'm just going to pull this sheer ribbon tight over top of the white ribbon that's already there, flip it over, and we're going to tape it down. This way, because you can't really put adhesive on that sheer ribbon or you would see it. But this way, your bow is stuck in place. Okay? So that turns out really cute like that, and it's, you know, I think it's very cute. What we're going to do next is we're going to do our sentiment, and I'm thinking we will, can't decide if I want the blue or the green. I think we're going to try stamping blue on top of green paper, okay, to start with. Let's give that a good try. Okay, this is Azure Blue from Stays On Ink. Okay, now this comes from the Scrappy Moms stamp set. Trying to figure out which one. I'm not sure. I think it might be the Charmed Life, but it says congrats on your new edition. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this down nice and tight. Okay, I like that, but I slid when I pressed it down tight, so we're going to just stamp it one more time. That's the nice part sometimes with doing it not directly onto the card, if you're not completely happy with it. Sometimes when I press, I end up sliding, and that's my own fault. Doesn't have anything to do with the stamps. There we go. Perfect. That looks a lot better. Okay, so move that out of the way. And then I just use my paper trimmer to kind of trim it to fit the shape of it. Okay, just kind of go like that and get it matted down. Alright, and then I do want, I think, let me see, actually, yeah, I think I'm going to put it on a white matting, just a slight border around it, I think it will look a little bit better, but not a very wide one. So I don't want it to be very big. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that down now too. Okay. I think sentiments that you stamp on separate paper look better with a mat. Okay. So there's our sentiment. Congrats on your new addition. And that's going to end up going right there. Okay, but we might as well adhere our card down first, our mat to our card base. And the brads fold down nice and thin, so that's really no problem. Okay, now this, I want it this way, so we're going to go ahead and line that up and put it right in the center of this green mat. Okay, like so. That looks really cute, I think. Okay, and then we have our sentiment, and I'm thinking the best thing is just going to be to run some ATG on it right in the middle. 2 strips of it, like so. It's going to have to adhere right to that ribbon. So hopefully that's enough to really make it sturdy. Luckily stays on ink, dries very quickly too, so it didn't smear at all. And yeah, okay, it's nice and sturdy to the ribbon, but I don't really like how that's lifting, so we're going to go ahead and put a couple of our mini glue dots behind the ribbon now that you don't see them. It'll be fine to do that. Just stick a couple of them in there and press it down. Then the ribbon won't lift either. Okay? Press it right down. See? Now it doesn't lift. So you don't even know that they're there. So that is our card. Very simple. And like I said, it's really simple, but see, you get kind of a neat pattern doing 2 colors of brads. Pick a printed paper that matches and just pull your colors together. And so I just tied in the white, green, and blue, kept it very simple, and that would be a perfect little baby boy card. Hopefully you can see it really well. And like I said, you don't need to have a Cricut cut to make a cute card if you don't have a lot of materials yet. Brads are very inexpensive. You get a lot of stuff in the package, so they're a really good buy. So that's it. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.